All right. Travis Kendall with Texas Sedation Dental and Implant Center. We have another special patient here. This is a little bit different story, and I wanted her to kind of talk about her story with us. But we met, what, over a year, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
And basically, this wonderful patient came in to us, and she was looking to get, all of her teeth out, and she knew she was having to go to that step, just like so many of the people that come to see us. They fought that battle. They've had life happen to them as moms, as dads, as people working in their businesses. Life sometimes happens, and teeth take a back seat. Health takes a back seat for a little while. Or sometimes people get diagnoses of cancer or different things that cause their mouth to go dry, and all of a sudden they start getting cavities. So many things can happen that affect people's teeth, where they lose what they once had, and at some point they've lost their confidence, they've lost their ability to talk well, they're in pain all the time, and so they're just tired. They're tired of dealing with pain. They're tired of not smiling. They're tired of not eating. Are any of these things that
Yes.
you went through?
Yes, pain and the aesthetics of it. I just was never happy with it.
Yeah. So was that your whole life you were never happy, or was there a certain point where it changed?
No, just about my whole life. I've always had crooked teeth, but then I'd have a cavity, and I'd go get that cavity fixed, and then I'd have to get a root canal, and I'd put it off and put it off and put it off, and then they would have to extract the tooth, and it was just constant pain.
Yeah.
Just constant pain.
Now, you originally came in to see us, and we gave you a quote, and obviously, getting this kind of work done, a lot of people out there don't understand, but this is extensive surgery, taking out all the teeth, placing implants. This is not something that's given away for free.
Correct.
Every once in a while we do give a free smile giveaway, but this is something that costs. It's a major investment into your health.
Yes.
But tell me, why did you come to see us from the first?
Well, I wanted a new smile.
Yeah.
And people have told me about Mexico, how good it was and how cheap it was. So I came here and got an estimate. To me, it was very high. I did research on Mexico. It was very low. And I decided to go to Mexico to have it done.
Yeah. And so how was your experience there, surgery-wise?
Surgery-wise, everything was fine. I mean, it was a nice place. They call it Molar City. The people were nice. The facility was nice and clean and sterile. Of course, I didn't speak Spanish, so I had a hard time understanding, but I understood the price.
Yeah.
And I understood the steps that it was going to take.
Yeah.
And all that happened, and I was comfortable, but it was awful fast.
Yeah.
Within a week, everything was done. And the end product looked nice. I was happy with it. Now you have that soreness and that you can't eat very well. And you have to go back, and I want to say 6 months to get your permanent ones in. Up until that point, everything was fine. I went and got my permanent ones. I wasn't quite happy with the smile, but it was a lot better than what I had before, a lot better. So I came back home, and I had good teeth. I thought I did. And about 2 or 3 months later, I think I was eating a hamburger, just a McDonald's hamburger, and I bit down, and I kind of thought I heard a crunch. And I kind of thought, oh no. So I looked real quick, and everything was fine. About a month later, I wake up one morning, and I go to do my teeth, and there's a chip and like half a tooth gone that I didn't even know was gone until I looked in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. So I had to make another appointment to go back to Mexico. So I did, and it was a 4-day ordeal. He did an impression, fixed the tooth, or ordered the tooth. I spent 4 days waiting, got the tooth back and the repair back, and it was fine. It looked great. The next morning, literally the next morning, I have to get on an airplane to leave. I wake up, brush my teeth, and it's gone. Again. Gone. And of course, I looked all over the room trying to find it, thinking we could just glue it back or whatever, and nothing.
Yeah.
So I came here and said, look, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at now.
How much, so this is what we're talking about. Go ahead and put her picture up here. We had a conversation, honestly. The doctor who did her work, it looks like they did great. They really did a good job putting the implants in. But this is the tooth that we're talking about here. Some of the things that we see about this, the teeth are really kind of opaque, really white, and not really lifelike. But as we talked, there's a metal framework underneath here. These teeth, I mean, it's not a bad job, you know. It's a pretty good job. Unfortunately, whatever it was that happened, this is where a chip of tooth structure came off, and it was metal under structure. And so they had to just put composite over the top because they didn't have time. They didn't have time. So in what I see here, you know, not a terrible job, not like hey, this is, you know, atrocious that they did this. Now on the inside of these, there are some things that I didn't like. They formed it more like the inside of a boat instead of the outside of a boat. Mm-hmm. So a lot of food gets trapped in there, and you kind of knew that. You said, oh, it's going to stink when you take this off, because you know it's hard to clean up underneath there if it's not designed properly. Mm-hmm. But what would you say, so the quote that you had from them was probably half of what we did here. But what would you say you spent in fees traveling down to Mexico?
The first time or the second time?
Both combined.
Both?
Just an estimate.
Doubled it. So
you think you spent $15,000, $20,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. So quite a bit of money spent in traveling. And then how did you feel when you realized that you had traveled down, spent all this money, and now you're having to get on a plane, you don't have time to fix it again?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a feeling of being trapped, right?
Oh, it was horrible. I mean, it was horrible. All that money spent, all that time spent, it was, I mean, you're on such a high thinking it's done.
Yeah.
And then instantly over. I mean, it's like, I'm not coming back. You know, what do I do now?
Yeah. And so that's the thing that people don't take into account. Yes, you can save half on your procedure, but you've got to travel down multiple times. And then who's to protect you if, like, you had a good doctor, honestly, and the implants look like they're in place in a good position. The implants still look healthy. This, I've seen a lot worse. It's not terrible, but it wasn't acceptable because it's not working. Right. And for you to keep having to go back just keeps increasing the price more and more and more. And so that's what people need to understand is that, you know, it's not just the cost of doing that, it's the cost of the maintenance, the cost of what if the implants didn't take? What if, you know, you'd had other complications? Not being able to just drive over and manage those complications in a 45-minute period is a huge difference. Right. So you made that decision, you came in and you saw us.
Yes.
And so what was your thought process as you went through that?
Well, first I talked to a lady, I can't remember her name, and she explained the process, took a tour of the building, showed me the machine where they print the teeth out in 3D, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And then they told me the time frame, which to me was great because I live 15 minutes down the road. So I can just have something done, go home, come back and have it done, where I don't have to sit in a hotel in a foreign country with no TV, no nothing, to come and get it done. And I decided I have to do it. I mean, there's no sense of going back. I thought, well, I'll go back one more time. Then I thought, well, there'll be another time, and another, and another. Yeah. So I just decided not to do it anymore.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your story. Your story is like so many others that we see here, people that are just tired and they don't want to keep investing 1,000 here, 3,000 there, 10,000 here for something that's not going to last. And we do not recommend this procedure for people that have good teeth. This is not a procedure for people who have good teeth. This is a procedure for people who they've lost that battle. They've got what we call terminal dentition, meaning their teeth are not going to last even 5 years. Even if they put $20,000 in, it's just not going to be a good investment. But you haven't even seen the new smile?
No.
Okay. The positioning of these teeth were not bad. This is just the 3D printed version that we do. But I think, honestly, I think you're going to like it more than what we have here. So why don't we go ahead and show you your new smile? Let's go ahead and give her this.
Okay. Now I don't know how to smile. Oh my God.
These are just the temporaries.
Oh man. That's awesome. Oh, do they look okay?
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
they look wonderful to me.
Let me see. I do like to evaluate them. I haven't even evaluated them. So smile for me. So midline is right on. What I love is those top teeth follow kind of the upper lip.
See, I don't know how to smile. I feel like I'm...
Yeah. But do you see how as the light hits them, it reflects differently, and you can kind of see little variations in the tooth?
Yeah.
That's what we're missing in this one. See
yeah.
See how flat they are, and the teeth, you don't see any variations in the tooth. This is the difference. And these are, like I said, if done well, these can be done well. Unfortunately, we had porcelain chipping off and within months, of doing that. These are 3D printed teeth that we print right here in our office. It takes us about an hour and a half to make them, and they're absolutely stunning. Now, but these are not even close to as lifelike as the final teeth that we'll be making for you. These are not as hard as the final teeth, but
they're awesome.
But combined, they already look so much more natural.
Oh, they do.
Now with these have to be a little bit thicker, as you can kind of feel in the temporaries, because they're not as strong in the final set of teeth. We'll be able to kind of minimize them more so that they're more comfortable.
Oh, I love them.
They look great, right?
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and get the other one, the real one's on the way.
So we'll let you try these out for a couple weeks. Just make sure they feel good. And if you love them, we're going to go straight to finals.
Great.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So anybody out there, if you are, if you're looking into options, there's no cheap way to do this.
Yeah.
You either come to us and, pay the fee that is, the average. We're probably slightly below average on the national level of what people charge for this procedure. Or you can go to Mexico, pay half of what we charge, but then you got $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in fees going down there. And the reality is there's no guarantee that you're going to get the work. Like if you get hepatitis down there, who are you going to complain to? If if they have implants failing and they're not willing to replace them, who do you complain to? There's nothing that you can do. Here, we're here to take care of people, and I think you felt that from us.
Oh, very much so.
But anyway, we have some flowers for you.
Oh, Lord, thank you so much. I'm
Congratulations.
just so happy. Thank you.
We're so excited for you.
I am too. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.